All right. So fair value gaps, and what are they? So fair value gaps, you have two. You have bullish, which is green, bearish, which is red. And bearish means going down, bullish means going up. And how these fair value gaps work is it's a retest on the area of that gap. So it's going to be that first candle, the third candle, and a gap in between. So it's going to be a body in between the first and the third, and that's how you can have a retest off the market. So you can also have inverse fair value gaps, which is this same setup, but say we have a candle, say we have this right here. Actually, I'll just use this one. So we get here and we that, and we're here right now, right? You look at this and you're like, all right, I just learned this fair value gap, right? And you're going to enter in the market. So this is a long position. You're going to enter in the market. Do like two risk to reward ratio. You're like, all right, so it should go up, right? I just learned this. Nope, you're completely wrong, because this candlestick has to close. So we're in the 5-minute time for the chart, and the time will be like right around this right area with all these numbers, which is the number of, or like what the price is, sorry. And once that 5-minute candle closes, you want it to close in this fair value gap, this little green area. And it doesn't really matter if that candlestick's like all the way up here or all the way down here. So it could be all the way down there and it closes in here, and it could skyrocket up, but you want confirmation in the market, and confirmation for a fair value gap is a long body candle off of that. So we closed here and you see this, and you can enter here and it could keep going up, but what I usually like to do is just enter off of it. So I like to see this close and then it open and not go any lower. And if it does, it's okay. You can still enter off of it, but you want more confirmation to have more confidence in the market when you actually buy in. But that's a normal fair value gap. And an inverse fair value gap, just inverse, kind of makes sense without even explaining it, but it closed under. So that 5-minute candle closed under this fair value gap. So you won't see this anymore. You just see this now, and you won't see the fair value gap anymore. And it will keep going down and down and down. And that's what it's supposed to happen, but it doesn't happen all the time because the market is just different. And it doesn't really care about what strategy you use or whatever. So let's apply this to the actual market. All right, so you see a fair value gap right here. I have an indicator just to mark it out because I'm too lazy to. You can be lazy in the market, it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you don't be too lazy to the point where it's just like, I don't know, a game you could say. But fair value gap, I see this, I'm like, okay. A lot of fair value gaps didn't hit, but still in a bullish market. So I'm gonna just wait. Just wait till the market. And these two candles closed, and it left a pretty big fair value gap. So let's see if it retests that fair value gap. Bang. Closed. That 5-minute candle closed in this fair value gap. So it's like, all right, it's either inverse or just a normal fair value gap where I could take a long. and see where it goes. Doesn't matter the size of the fair value gap. This is a good fair value gap. This is a good fair value gap. So I'm like, all right, it closed in it. Let's see the next candle. Long body wick. Long body wick. All right. And like I was saying earlier, with those open and close, so with a candle that's bearish is going to close at the bottom, bullish candle will close at the top. So I entered here and it did hit my stop loss, but I wouldn't have entered right here, so that doesn't really matter, if you could say. It's basically just confirmation that, okay, this fair value gap worked. Let's see the next couple candles, and it skyrocketed all the way up. Another fair value gap, didn't work, and now it's gonna dump again, but I don't want to enter off of this candle. You don't have to hit every fair value gap. I definitely don't recommend it, because that's how you'll lose a couple trades and you won't be happy with yourself. But let's see this bullish fair value gap. The only thing that's a little sketch is this green and the red fair value. So let's just see. Okay, another example. The wick tapped into the gap, but the body didn't close in the gap. I see this a lot happening here as well. And as we see, crazy increase in the market. As we see, wick closed, crazy increase in the market. So that body doesn't always have to close in the gap. If the wick at least taps in with that, you can go and place a trade and be profitable. But let's see. Okay, now we have that body closed, both bodies closed in there. And the last time this happened was right here. So bang, go short, right under the fair value gap. We'll go 2 to 1, and let's see. So I did get closed out, but that doesn't mean that it's back testing, so it's not going to be 100% accurate. So I would have just waited until, yeah, it could have hit this right off the bat, but once it hits this line and buys my position in, then bang, it's just cake from there, and you just won however much. Let's see. A lot of money. A lot of money. Almost like $400, but this isn't on micro. Micro is a lot different, and it just, off these fair value gaps are just insane. So let's see. Yeah, like bang. But for your homework tonight, I definitely recommend finding at least 25 fair value gaps. If you don't have, I'm not sure if you have to buy the basic for TradingView, but you can still go back to the market either way and just try to find fair value gaps. So you don't have, this indicator won't work unless it's like this, but go back in the market and just be like, all right, like I see this gap right here. Grab a rectangle, mark that fair value gap, and mark out 10 of these. Take pictures, journal them, whatever. If you want, if you're on a laptop or a computer, snip it and put it into a document, and this will just help you out tremendously. Or you could find 15 bullish and 15 bearish. So that's your homework for today.